quality, slightly to gently used equipment. And 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Way out there where the sun comes up under the big red sky, I do life the way I love, with family by my side. I feel home with me, no matter where I go.
Proud of where we're from, excited for where we're going. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Good morning, Breakers. This is Scott Miller from Midwest Bank. When I recently joined Midwest Bank, I was immediately impressed by our exceptional service. My first customer made the switch from a large corporate bank and didn't have to wait in line or call a 1-800 number. We treated him like family. He now visits the bank just to say hello. While other banks go corporate, we stay Nebraska. Visit us at midwest.bank or drop by a branch today. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Welcome in, Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns back on the Don't Punt Hour with Morning Pierson-El. You guys are always welcome to join in. Starting him in text line 402-464-5685. Also Facebook, YouTube, XL Channel 961. How's it going, Good morning, Pierson-El, on a beautiful February 25th? I don't think there's any snow left, being quite honest.
It's good to see you, finally this week. I know you've been out or whatnot, so, and taking it one day at a time.
Yeah, I gave you the what's up yesterday. I said,
yeah, but I didn't see your top half. I seen Nebraska and under.
Well, you know who it was.
Yeah,
that was your guy checking in. Hey, man, like I say, got a great staff. I've been working here long enough. I deserve some comforts. No, I'm just kidding. There's a lot of work yet to be done here. But it's always a pleasure. And it is nice. I'll tell you what, it used to be just me here at night all the time. At least now we got Nick Wyman, and then DP also gets to go home. I think DP just likes doing it. But his doctors probably appreciate it now that he has some more time to just go back, kick back, relax, doesn't really need to do it. He's accomplished about as much as you can in the industry. So good for him to be able to catch those breaks as well. But plenty of things to talk about. First thing, don't want to spend a ton of time on it because we've talked about it plenty. Husker hoops, they close out a big one at home. What are your just initial thoughts from the game? Because there's a lot of comments from text line, some good, some bad.
I mean, Hoiberg, glue guy, right? I don't think it gets talked about enough. It's good to see the team kind of back in full swing, kind of look more comfortable and everything like that, especially with this late in the season and everything like that. Definitely think still need to work on switch ball defense. But I mean, when your scorers, step up and score and do their job and everything like that, being back at full strength, it makes the job a lot easier.
Oh, wait, makes it 10 times easier. I mean, this is another game where what I keep kind of going back to, there's things that we can nitpick absolutely, but I think the real win is that Nebraska still found a way to win the game. Like
that part.
Not great. Nothing you want to say. That's totally fine. That'll never bite us having these slow starts, but you figure out ways to persevere through a game. And again, that was Buzz Williams, the guy who beat Nebraska with Texas A&M last time they were in a tournament. And that Maryland team played a very similar style and aggressiveness of really
downhill.
Give it to your best guys. Let them go downhill. And when the threes are there, we'll take them maybe a little bit more sparingly. If we're hitting them, we'll take quite a few more in. Again, it was similar to Texas A&M. Maryland was shooting the three ball a little bit better than they usually do. It's not necessarily a great 3-point shooting team, and they were able to hover around 33%, which they'll take that more often than not. So a little bit of the same script. Certainly, I think Texas A&M was a little more athletic, but you still got the same look. And Nebraska handled it pretty well despite that scoring drought to start the game. And then you said you just got key guys like Sam Hoiberg starting drives, and then Frager, who feels a little bit back to like what we saw some flashes earlier. Not that he ever left, but it's just how consistent can he be doing that?
That part. Mm-hmm.
And in the absence of, some of the Rink Mast scoring games, you've had other guys be able to step up. And I'm still on the Rink Mast wagon. I think he's going to get back into form. I'm not worried about, this is what it's going to look like the rest of the season. I think he'll step up when it matters most. And if they clean up the slate here on the schedule, that's a 3-round bye in the Big Ten championship game. And then I think, especially for a guy like Rink Mast or even other guys,
it's needed.
Get a rest. Yeah, it's a long season. And I think
needed.
They're setting themselves up to be in a really good spot. And this was a big one tonight. I think it was more of a statement than people want to give it credit for.
Definitely. I mean, we can talk about the refs and their play and their calling and everything like that. I'm not going to make it that easy, but I think this was a good game, a good kind of like I said. I mean, I was talking about it yesterday with Nick. He was like, kind of what do they need to do? Is just finish out the season how they should be finished out. Win the games you're supposed to win. Period. And I think they definitely showed poise in that doing that tonight.
Yeah, it's the thing we ask for Nebraska football, right? Like, beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And I hate using this analogy all the time, but it's why football gets a lot of criticism, because people aren't mad because we didn't beat Ohio State. They're upset because we got blown out by Minnesota, or, we didn't even compete against Iowa, a team who on paper should not be that far above you. And this was a game, it was a quad 3 team with Maryland. Was they terrifying like that Texas A&M team was? No, but there were some familiar demons in it, and you were able to take care of them. And I know they didn't really get away until the final 5 minutes. And I saw that was the criticism from the text line as well, from some people. But my point is, like, who cares? It's
a win. Any given night, it can go either way. So, Maryland was beating some teams, the last couple of games. They've been playing well. They were honestly kind of hot. So, you take your wins when you can.
Yeah, and especially, like, again, with that run they made, that was when it mattered most, and they made that distance. So, to me, that's a good sign. I'm not sitting here sad because they didn't, get out ahead by that lead in the first half, as long as it comes there at some point, which they absolutely did. So, the spread was like 16.5. 13-point win, pretty close to what people were expecting, and you took care of business, and I think that's all people can ask for. When we get to March, then it'll really matter about trying to be as perfect as you can be. There's no perfect college basketball team out there, but Nebraska looks a hell of a lot closer to it than some of these years prior. And it's a big credit to Fred Hoiberg and the guys that maybe were on those teams that weren't so perfect for at least putting the foundation here. So now this is a program that's sellable, and you certainly see that with the recruits. I'm all for it. I'll tell you what, that people are still circling March 8th, Iowa, when they're coming to Lincoln. That's going to be a rowdy environment. And that one's going to hold a lot of weight to it. And then, of course, you win the next West Coast trip, beat Iowa, you're easily sitting there. That's a 3-round bye. And then the Big Ten tournament, we're feeling really nice. And there's still enough chaos that who knows, maybe you climb up to a 3 seed. And it's some chance, but a chance all the way up to a 2 seed, depending how things shake out. So, yeah, I just want to kind of lean more on the positive end there. I just thought there's minor things to nitpick, but for the most part,
they got the job done. Well done.
More confidence. Only more confidence in the team. Is there anything that does scare you before we get off of the men's team that, again, I think it's nitpicking.
I mean, necessarily if you teams like Illinois or kind of how Michigan State can kind of turn it on and be like that downhill team as well. More athletically teams like that A&M squad kind of again, like I said, switch defense. I think that's where things can get out of hand. Other than that, and maybe an off night with just shooting. But that's about it.
Yeah, I think the physicality, because it goes on the same with the rebounding. And when you meet those more athletic teams, can you be physical enough and not rack up on foul trouble, or have refs that know how to officiate a game fairly? Hopefully they're in the mix.
Fair point.
Yeah, tonight was bad at parts. I thought it was fine for the most part, but it's always frustrating when you see the really blatant ones get missed. That's all I'll say on it, because it didn't affect the game in a major way, I don't think. But, they're going to have their challenges. But I think if you talk about this team to go beyond that second weekend, beyond the round of 32, it's another conversation to be had later. But then we can start talking about the slow starts. And if they want to be, in the Sweet 16, you can't have a slow start. Well, that's probably true. But I'll tell you what, they're doing a hell of a lot more than anybody anticipated. So shout out to the men's basketball team. They get another big time win. We also had some football press conference, some audio from the coaches and everything today. Were you able to listen to Manning Brown or Maher? I know Maher was the one that was out there clipped the most.
I heard bits and pieces of it. I didn't get a chance to dial up the full clip.
Okay, we'll go through. There's plenty of audio quotes in here. And I think the best, well, I'll ask you, Brown, Maher, Manning. Which coach do you want to start with?
Manning.
All right, let's get to Manning. This is the one I've played a couple of times already, but I think it has some good context there. So apologies if you've heard it already. We'll play it one more time here. And again, this is talking about if there is anything that he identified with Nebraska's inability to kind of get pressure in the backfield last year or keep contained for the most part.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. I mean, I feel like that's part of the belief in who you are. You always feel like you can pull it out of a guy, or get him to play at a higher level. I mean, that's, at least I feel that way. I can't speak for all coaches, but that's my challenge. Like, hey, I'm gonna get this dude to play. Hey, I'm gonna get this dude to be more effective in his capacity, whatever that is. So yeah, I mean, do we have enough? Yeah, we have enough. I got to coach my tail off, and we got to learn what we're doing and how to do it. But just from a pure walk through the door, hey, do you have enough in here to get after the quarterback? Yeah. And it's similar to, again, last year where, you have to create pressure on the quarterback. Either you have the personnel to do that, or you have to, earn your check and figure out ways schematically to pressure him, and I think we did a combination of both, honestly, last year. I think we identified those skills and those guys as like, hey, this guy, he has some one-on-one ability, and then we put them in those scenarios as much as possible schematically as best we could. And so that's the challenge right now. We're identifying those guys, right? So day 3, we'll see, but I'm excited. That's the journey. That's the process, and that's what's most exciting for me as a coach.
So there you have it. That is Roy Manning, again, defensive edges coach there for Nebraska. A few things that stuck out to me, but I want your thoughts first.
It's not bad. I mean, it's still a young group. I mean, we all knew that. I mean, even last year, the guys that they selected and everything like that, they're raw, and confidence has to be built, and guys have to make plays. Like, I don't think he said anything bad, but I mean, it's been it's been what we know and thought it was, even with how things went last year.
Yeah, I'm not pushing back on anything you just said. I think you're 100% right there. The one thing that stuck out to me is that he did feel like he has the guys this year, and I don't expect him to come in there as the position head coach and say before it starts in spring football, we don't have the talent. We're not going to be good at this spot this year. But he said it with confidence. I think there's always a little bit of truth in it, even if it is coach speak. So it gives me some confidence that he at least sees a lineup, maybe 6 guys that he can rotate out there that he feels comfortable enough with, kind of the way he described it out there. We'll get to the other part. Now it comes down, if you think you have the physical bodies, the talent, can you get the scheme that fits best for him? Here is Roy Manning on how do you want some of the guys to fit to the new scheme that he's trying to evolve?
Yeah, I think that's always a challenge, right? When we're coming in with a scheme change is answering that question. And so all those guys, they're individual and bring different, talents and skill set. And I think that's our challenge this spring is to cultivate that. I mean, at its core, football is still football. And so there's nothing overly unique about what we do, but it's just teaching those guys how to do it. And, really ingraining those guys like, here's the core principles, because their techniques have changed and will change from what they've done the last few years. So, but that's why they pay me, like get them to execute, their jobs and responsibilities within this system and scheme. So I've been really pleased with the room. And I don't like comparing, but from a attitude and approach standpoint, they remind me of the group I just coached a year ago. A bunch of eager, willing guys that just want to get better, improve, and be a part of the good. So I'm excited to continue to work with those guys.
Your thoughts?
It's a lot of positive talk. I think that he's saying the guys are in a good headspace, which is always good. And he could say other things necessarily to not give out that and everything like that. But it's pretty much, they were kind of freestyling or had their own way of things, and now we're going to bring him into the fold and show him how he would like things and whatnot. So he's confident in his approach and things and whatnot. He has guys that that are wanting to learn and everything like that. So all that's good and positive. And it's only still day 3 out from spring ball, or 3 days into spring ball, whatnot. So people are still fresh. So we can check back in definitely next week. And once the legs are heavy and everything like that.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's early. You'd hope. It feel like a crisis if the guy's energy's down if we're day 3 and they're already sapped out of energy and they're maybe not in the right headspace. But it sounds like they're eager, which is great. And he, it says reminds him of the year he coached prior, just a little bit ago. So all good things there. Tell you what, with this Nebraska defense, there is a lot of new parts coming into it, and I'm always of the mindset of it's not easy, but it's possible to install a defense in the offseason and be confident and have it clicking in game 1, game 2, game 3 without having to take a bunch of lumps and learning curves? Or is it going to be a little bit more complicated than that in your mind?
No, I don't think so. I think the biggest jumps will happen in games 1 through 3. Kind of once you get the jitters, once they get the jitters out and kind of see what is expected and whatnot. I think definitely game 2 and 3 would definitely be tightened up. But they're going to throw at the whole kitchen sink at them, sink or swim. They're going to identify the guys that that they have. They're going to identify their situational guys and everything like that. So the identifying stuff is part 1 of it. Part 2 is teaching everybody the technique and getting them comfortable to be out there and be dominant on the field and everything like that. That's kind of 1A and 1B. So I think that's what they're going to get to everybody to be more knowledgeable and understanding kind of what their jobs are, and to recognize certain things, hand placements, techniques, and whatnot. And then all the spring ball kind of could get the ingredients going and everything like that, give them all the tools that they need and everything like that, come fall camp and into the season and whatnot, is when they kind of all put it together, sharpen their skills and everything like that. Once you go out in the game, first game, you kind of realize that, I like this, I don't like that, I can do this a little bit better. This is what the coaches expect from me. And then you just kind of try and chase that game in and game out. So I think it can be done. I'm not saying there's going to be lumps or anything like that, but there's going to be a little bit of a curve to kind of catch up. And I think those first 3 games is when they kind of will trim the fat and kind of understand of what it is and be more comfortable walking into Big Ten play.
Yeah, and then when they do understand it, what the defense expects, what the coaches want, then part 3 I'd add on there is executing. Because there was times last year, and to give Butler some defense, there's times it felt like Nebraska was set up perfectly to handle a call against an offense, and we just didn't execute, and it would run into an explosive play where someone fell asleep on an assignment, or just a simple missed tackle where you had the angle, you're set up properly. And kind of going back to that first one, they would ask him, about the lack of pressure Nebraska was getting. How much was that on just the scheme that we currently had? Is that we weren't big enough? Like, what do you think those problems were? What do you think those problems were last year, and what will be different this year, or what has to be different this year if we're going to have success?
I honestly think that the issue with that was experience. I think you had an idea of bringing guys in, and they're athletic, they may be a little bit smaller, whatever you want to do and everything like that. And not to say that it didn't work. Now, throughout the whole season, that wasn't, consistent and everything like that. No, but our problems from the jump, were kind of still some of the problems towards the end. And it was just, lack of experience for certain guys that having to step up and everything like that. So now that those guys kind of got a year under their belt and kind of know what it is to play in a full-time role, not every situational ball. You throw in a bunch of guys kind of getting thrown into the fire and got to, make names for themselves up front, and you got a lot of shoes to fill. The guys that came before them, that's not easy to come to go after and still kind of step up to that. It's going to necessarily take some time. So you have that, and then a guy who is transitioning into coaching on the collegiate level from that's different to the NFL level and everything like that. I think is why you got what it is. But now, this coaching staff coming into it with guys that have that year of experience under their belt and understand certain things, and the learning curve of I've done this before. I learn a new system. I learn different things and different techniques and everything like that. I think that's going to be, more so of a pathway into the future. They'll be better adjusted because they've walked that path before.
Yeah, we got a bunch of guys that got reps last year that maybe they were struggling, but the reps still prove valuable. And then, on the portal, we did add some depth for linebackers that have a lot of starts under their belt that are a little bit older. Same thing with the D-line. We got some D-linemen as well, and a couple edge rushers as well, or maybe just the one edge rusher. I'll double check on that. But we've added some help to those weak spots with a lot of experience. So I think that's kind of the hope there, is mixed in the youth, and it was great that those guys got a run, although maybe at a detriment at times to the defensive total success. But you pair that up with some of the veterans out of the portal. The dream scenario is they feed off each other, and you get that good dynamic. We'll have to wait and see if that's what actually works out happening, though. Don't go anywhere. We got 2 more coaches to get to on the other side. Don't punt hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns, talking Husker football right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Talk to you in a bit.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
It's seafood season at Amigos. Time to get that one-of-a-kind, crisp crab rangoon burrito and dip it in some sweet chili sauce. There's a crab rangoon Frenchie, too. Enjoy grilled fish, grilled shrimp, or crispy fish tacos, wrapped in warm whole wheat tortillas, topped with pico de gallo, cabbage, and Amigos Chipotle mayo sauce. From jumbo shrimp baskets or fish and chips to fish tacos, there's something for everyone. You'll love the bold, fresh flavors of seafood at Amigos. Amigos is serving up a brand new way to score the bold, fresh flavors you love with 8 affordable value meals. At $5 and $6, these meals are easy on the wallet, so treat yourself anytime. Sink into the new 3-cheese melt or taco melt, both stacked with crave-worthy flavor in every bite. There's crunchy taquito dippers, too, perfect for dunking in Amigos' famous ranch or spicy cheese. Big flavor, small price. Value meals at Amigos.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Bagels & Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. February's cream cheese flavor is white chocolate raspberry. Pair it with a strawberry cold foam. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome back in. Second segment, Don't Punt Hour. DeMornay Pierson-El, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We're going to keep talking some spring football conversations with the Husker football team. Obviously, we listened to Roy Manning. We got two more left. Not audio clips, but coaches to get to. We got Coach Brown, new D-line coach, and then we got Hoiberg in there as well. Not the one I want. We also got Maher, the new special teams coordinator.
Let's go with Brett.
All right, let's get to Maher here. Let's go. Does he expect to put his influence in the special teams units? Again, kind of going off of what Mike Eckler built. He has a little bit of tweak on his. And then we've talked about Brett Maher, the multiple stops that he's been to, and he's got more than a wealth of experience he can pull through if he wants to add to the program. Here's him on if he's going to add his influence to the special teams coordinator, and if so, what that looks like.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of our influence on it. I think, what was really good about last year was the fundamentals and how fundamentals of special teams can translate to other areas of the field. So when you come into special teams period, it's not a complete one-off. I do think schematically there's a lot of room for us to grow. And that's where Nick and I think will be really good and can be creative and create some different things because of that.
Where can they grow in special teams from last year? Because it was a really great turnaround, and it didn't fall apart at the end of the season. The operations stayed cleaned. We just didn't have maybe explosive plays. And then you lose Williams, who had 2 kick return touchdowns for us this year. Now, they can probably find more athletic bodies to replace. But when you're looking at this special teams, what are the things you would like them to improve on?
Consistency from, 25 plus. I think that's right around 30 yards. Like anything after that, it was kind of we kind of don't got that. So I think definitely, consistency with that. Of course, explosive plays, and we had explosive plays, but you can never have too many explosive plays. Did we run any fakes on special teams last year by any chance? On punt?
Stuff with Heinrich Harburg on a punt. I want to say that.
So probably that. Maybe operation. I know with what's big is just operation time. So from the time that the ball is hiked to the catcher catching the ball and kicking it, from the time the ball is hiked from the operation time of the punter punting the ball, or from the time the ball is hiked, the coverage team getting down there to make a tackle. So those are small areas that potentially that you could, and schematic things, getting off of blocks faster. But there's not a huge list. Like I'm not saying this and that, but if I had to say, like I said, kicking 25 plus consistently to where we're it's automatic, and more explosive plays.
Yeah, and then also we'll get to his next clip. He talks about Wilson a lot, the punter as well, and I really like his answer there because that's one area. Again, Wilson, he was fine, but there was moments where it's like, can you be elite and do everything that some people really started to? He became a fan favorite, and he had a really good start to the year, had a good finish, but maybe he wasn't pinning people the way he was early at the beginning of the year. And you do get Maher kind of talking about how he wants Archie to be a bit more detailed when it comes to those operations. So here's him on the punter, Archie Wilson.
I think that'll just be like his kind of stock balls is what I call it. His stock lefts, his stock rights, and then using the other stuff kind of as a change up, but giving him a little more freedom through rhythm, if that makes sense. Because his style is very unique to me. And coaching him last year for the first time was very eye-opening to what I had ever seen or done. So a lot of last year was me trying to learn him and learn that style. And I think I fell into the trap a couple of times of, shoot, he can hit this ball, he can hit this ball, he can hit this ball. Let's go out and, let's practice all of them. When I do think not reining him in, because I want him to be able to go out there and have the freedom to, try to pull off some stuff that's pretty crazy, because that could be a huge advantage for us. But also like making sure that he has something that he can go to in any given circumstance or situation.
So he kind of touches up refining the basics, but also
getting him to get his bread and butter.
Yeah, exactly.
At the next level, like, can kickers do a lot of stuff? Yes, but they can do probably 2 or 3 things really, really consistently, and it can go. That can be the difference with a lot of things. So just him reining it in practice. They'll get his bread and butter. And they'll have things to where you can rely on that. If he wants to line up and point right and kick it back left, if he wants to line up on the left hand side and maybe kick it with his opposite foot or other things and everything like that. So that's just again operation of the system. I'm not mad at that.
No, not at all. And I like what you said there. I think that's pretty much it. Like, let's get you your bread and butter. Here's a few things that you can drill every single time, and you just get super comfortable with that. It's gonna be great for the college game, but also like taking care of him in the NFL game. Because again, if he's got some things where he can do it every time it's asked of him, like he'll go find himself a contract in the next level.
Easily.
But that being said, we got one more from him. I just find it interesting. I don't know if you know the answer, but he does give us an answer. Why are field goal kickers able to kick the ball from so far away now? Do you have one?
Why they are?
Why it's taking such a sudden boom where it's getting more and more consistent for these guys to be hitting?
I would say it has something that's just probably to do with the approach, flexibility, and coaching, like their kicking mechanics differently, to where they're more comfortable with it. If I had to assume, and that's just me, just off the top of my head thinking.
I was just guessing like new technology with the balls, but here's Maher on it.
NFL specifically or college or both? Well, I think in the NFL, started getting really good at breaking and kicking balls. To be honest with you, that was part of it. There's also kickers are athletes now. They can run, they can jump, they can lift. Now we're not Division I athletes, but we are like very good athletes. Anytime you have a better athlete, you're going to be able to kick ball farther, kick ball higher. And then you got the K balls and kind of the evolution of that in the NFL. And now they got rid of those last year. So that's where I think you're seeing like a bunch of bombs getting dropped. And I don't think that's going away anywhere. How I think it trickles down to the college game is you've got younger kids that are going to grow up watching that. And so that's going to be commonplace where like, if you can kick a ball far, like you've got a shot. So now it's kind of up to all the coaches in the world to try to hone that in and narrow that focus, I guess, a little bit to making kicks, which at the end of the day is what our job is. But I do think that will trickle into the college game. And there's also less consequence in the college game with a long field goal. You get the ball like where it's snapped instead of where it's kicked. So you're like that 8-yard swing can make it a little more advantageous to take a rip at it too.
So there you have it. It's a little bit of everything. But yeah, you just kind of blown away. I remember just watching this year in college football, the bombs, and then I'm blanking on it. Someone this year in the NFL, I want to say it was for the Jaguars, was kicking absolute monsters for a good chunk of the year. And it was just like common. It was like, oh, there goes another 65-yarder. Like just right through the middle, no problem. It is it's for me, I just want to hear it because it's crazy how much the kicking game has grown. And I wonder if it'd do a little bit with recruiting. But it's just that trickle down effect that these guys are athletes and there's a lot of money in it. So you're just getting better and better kickers.
I didn't know that they took away the actual kicker balls. Like that's different. Because you think about it, I mean that I can small nuances of things or whatnot, but that's interesting.
Yeah, and they did that last year, and I don't know what the
I don't know how I missed that.
The NFL changed the rules around the K balls to allow teams to prepare them in advance rather than using brand new stiff balls due to inconsistencies, poor performance. Okay, yeah. So the K-balls being back there. I wonder, I think he might have misspoke, unless they're planning on 2026 for not having the K-balls again. Or did I mishear that?
I thought he said that they took them away, so they're not. That's what I thought I heard.
Okay, I'll double check that because I want to be sure on everything that we just listened to there. But it make a lot of sense.
I never really looked at it in that aspect, but I mean, yeah, that could definitely do a difference.
Yeah, big time. All right, I'll look into that so I can get confirmation on the other side. We'll get to Brown, Corey Brown, the last coach on the other side. So don't go anywhere. Don't punt hour. Got a little bit left. Husker football before we hand things over to Late Night in Lincoln with Nick Wyman. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk to you in a bit.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com. MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
With so much financial uncertainty, are you wondering if retirement savings will last? Markets ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Hi, I'm Edward Jones, advisor Ryan Bach. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, let's work together to help you ensure you're prepared for the journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek. It's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 8380 Old Cheney Road, Lincoln, Nebraska. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Wrapping things up, Don't Punt Hour, DeMornay Pierson-El. Only got about 5 minutes left. And, Brett Maher confirmed with the K-ball. It's back. That's why. So that's why there's so much success with it. And I think I'm misreference or I'm missing a rule that came out where he's ahead of the curve on it, but no, I think that's there to stay. I don't think I have to get rid of that, but I think you're referring to that was a lot of the success with the NFL, and then obviously with college, different ball game there. But wrapping things up, just want to clarify that. Let's finally get to the last coach, Coach Brown, and the D-line. Kind of same thing I asked you with Manning, but what were the biggest problems for the defensive line in your mind?
I think schematically, like maybe them not understanding fully of like having a plan and executing the plan. You know, so winning your one-on-one matchups and everything like that, having your ABC move. I don't think that they were fully aware of that and just kind of understand, playing within their means.
Yeah, absolutely. And we get some early impressions of it. So let's get to the early impressions of the guys that he has in the room and kind of what he's thinking.
It's been great from a standpoint of I think he's a challenging head coach. He demands your best. I think that's something that if you're wired the right way as a coach, you want that.
And apologies, he's talking about Matt Rule here. I'll get to the players on the other one, but early impressions of Matt Rule.
That keeps you, on a sharp edge, and for him to go, make sure your things you're doing in India is carrying over the team and things like that. Like as a head coach, that's keeping you on par. So he demands your best, and I think it's been great to work for.
So again, talking about Matt Rule, I don't think there's a ton to break into there, but
you speak for yourself.
Okay, go for it. I'll let you speak. I just
we know he likes to manage a lot of things. This is not necessarily a guy that Coach Rule, knows and brings in. This is the defensive coordinator's guy that's bringing somebody with him. So that piece right there to me is interesting for somebody coming in new to kind of say that. And I understand, Rule may be trying to figure him out and everything like that. But I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I just think it's interesting.
As long as it's a standard that's being equally applied everywhere else, I don't got a problem with it. Because Cignetti, Saban, they had standards. I don't know what it looked like. I'm not saying micromanaging is the way to get your standard across. I don't know if that's what's happening there.
Yeah, I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying I just find it interesting.
Maybe it works years later down the season. Maybe we think about that quote again, or maybe we don't think about it at all. But there's a little bit more to it. And the reason why I said nothing, I think coach speak, he's not going to go on there and say, yeah, he's kind of a jerk. He's taught me a lot. Like, obviously, he's going to say nice things, but it is maybe noteworthy that Matt Rule has definitely made an emphasis to get with that defensive line coach and make sure the expectations are understood. Here is Coach Brown again on teaching the young guys just the technique to stop the run and what that looks like.
Just how fluid you have to be from a standpoint of, you talk about a must gap and a bonus gap, demanding and controlling your gap. And then from there, that's done with good footwork, good strength, good leverage, because that's hard to gain against another grown man that's been in the weight room 3 and 4 years as well. So that one-on-one battle is one with the technical part of it. And then also that guy up front is always a fight to who can get their hands inside, who can get their foot placed where they need to be, and how quick you can get your feet up and off the ground. So just those one-on-one matchups day in, day out. And we're practicing against a very, very good offensive line. I've been here a short period of time, but we have some really, really good O-linemen. There's going to be some great battles for us in the spring as a young group. So very, very excited about that. But that's the key, making sure they can understand how those small details are big in the picture of owning my must gap, and then from there being able to play into the bonus gap.
100% right. Good tape of that is like, go look at the Seahawks Super Bowl, where they put Will Campbell on tape a lot, and it was Will Campbell's lack of technique and the supreme technique by the Seahawks defenders, not just him, like across the line there. That technique, if you don't have that right, you don't stand a chance. So it was at least refreshing for me to hear him double that down. I'm not surprised by it, but it was good to hear.
Most definitely. I think I'm excited to see what he does with this group. I liked the other clips that I've heard from throughout his press conference and everything like that. He has a type of energy about him, and I think it's definitely going to be good when you have that early and often from a coach. But like I said, working with a young group, they have to understand, what's on your drop down menu. Of the tools that you can use necessarily to still win, regardless if it's whatever set you get, or if somebody's running at you, or if you're getting double teamed, etc. So I like what this coach has to say a lot.
I like it too. It's nice and early, yet nothing to complain about, and I'm not complaining. Hopefully, we don't have anything to complain about. Clear messaging so far, and again, that's kind of that first round of coaches that we're going to get. We'll get some more later, obviously next week. But in the meantime, appreciate everybody listening. This has been the Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. We got Nick Wyman coming up next. Late Night in Lincoln, right here, The Ticket.